Welcome everyone, Arthur Bablis here. Congratulations for getting to the Conscious Evolution Show, the podcast, partly evolved from the Inside Out community. And we're going to be coming to you here, we're going to be having discussions and conscious conversations, and our whole purpose is to get you thinking about your thinking, to ask you some questions so you can discover the decisions that you need to make in order for you to start moving your life forward. How do you bring in more joy, more love, more happiness, more success into your life? You see, leadership, success and happiness, it doesn't just happen, it's cause and effect. Being a world-class therapist, an extraordinary coach and heart-centered healer requires you to do the inner work, to continually grow and evolve. In this podcast, I'm going to share with you what I've learned on my journey in this wonderful field, blending modern science, traditional wisdoms and spiritual laws to help you to discover that essence inside of you and ask yourself the questions to help you to finally break through. Here's a question: who would you be, what would you do, and how would you feel if you already had blank? Think about that. This podcast is going to help you fill in the blanks. This is Arthur Bablis. Welcome everyone. It's that, whoa, there's the explosion. We are here. We have an exciting podcast and a conversation for everyone here today, guys. Welcome everyone. Arthur Bablis, the Conscious Evolution Show. Let us know where you are streaming in from. We are streaming live here. We are going to all our platforms in Facebook, in YouTube, in LinkedIn. And the reason we're doing that is we have a very, not just a special conversation, a heartfelt conversation, but I'm really excited about the conversation we're going to have this morning. I'm going to be introducing to you a very dear friend, a colleague, someone I respect this industry. He's been in this field for, I don't even tell you how many years, been in the corporate world and the experience that this lady brings. But today we are coming to you at this time. Normally we come to you in the afternoon, the Australian Eastern Standard Time, but we're coming to you in the morning because our special guest is coming in from all the way in the east coast of the United States. So guys, welcome to the show, the Conscious Evolution Show. You know about me. I've been in this field for the last 30 years, 3 decades, complementary medicine, personal growth, human performance. And the purpose of us running this show and doing this, having these conversations with people in this industry is to help you to level up. And what does that mean? Help you to discover. And I've got this from one of my mentors, Brendan Bouchard. And this woman here, she's done training with Brendan too. And I know she loves BB as much as what I love BB. And Brendan says this: why do we exist in this field as coaches? What is it that we do? I love the definition that he gives. He goes, the role of a coach is to have a conversation with a client, appreciative inquiry. That's positive psychology, right? To have a conversation with someone to stimulate within them an awareness of the way they've been making decisions in the past, like the questions they've been asking themselves that got them where they are today. And then to discover the questions they need to ask themselves right now in order to bring more love, more joy, and more happiness in their life. So my question to you is, what conversations are you having with yourself? And what are the questions that you need to ask yourself today to bring in more love, more joy, and more happiness in your life? And I think that is at the core of conscious leadership. That's what we're going to be talking about today. How do you rise to the call of your spirit? Because they're the important questions I think you need to ask in order for you to become, next level, to get to the next evolution of yourself. And this is what we've been doing over the years. So let us know where you're watching. If you put any comments in, let me know about your comments. And if you're watching live, hashtag live. If you're watching, let me get this organized. If you're watching on replay, hashtag replay, we're here to support you. We're here to have some fun, and we're here to help ourselves grow and evolve. Anyway, enough about me. Let me tell you about a special guest who's going to be coming down. We're going to get all this ready to bring her down. This person I met, I think it was about 2015 and 16, probably about 8-9 years ago. And I met her on the journey of me upskilling myself in the field of NLP and hypnosis. Like, even though I'd done all this work with my original mentor back in 97, Dr. Tad James, it wasn't until about 2013, 14, I was thinking, I need to bring this work into the college I was running at that time and bring it in from a training perspective. We were teaching people in energy work and kinesiology and all these other wonderful tools. Even though I was doing NLP and coaching, I wasn't training people in that field yet. And we wanted to bring that into our repertoire. So I went on this journey to become a trainer and a master trainer with a Tad James company. And I met this woman there. I remember, I think the first time I met her, she was doing her trainer's program. I think it was at the Sydney University, I think it was there. And she had this glow about her. I remember she had this blue and white floral shirt. I don't know if she remembers that, but she had that blue and white floral shirt. And there was an energy about her. And And you know it because when she stood in front of people and doing her presentations and the way she talked, she came across with a level of experience, a level of assertiveness, and a level of empathy and trust and connection that I hadn't seen with other people. Like she had something special. The following year, she came back as an assistant, and I was assistant in that training team. We got to know each other really well, and we just connected. You know, when you meet someone, you're just in sync. Like you don't need to say anything, and you can go days and days and weeks and months, and you haven't had a conversation, and yet when you get together on the next conversation, it's like you've been talking every day. And that's the connection I have with this woman. I went to visit her and her wonderful husband a couple of years back in Miami, in Fort Lauderdale. This person I'm going to introduce to you, she is a master trainer in NLP, in hypnosis. She's a coach. I can give you a list of everything that she's done. She's a heart math trainer, resilience worker, havening practitioner, Enneagram practitioner. The list goes on and on and on with the work that this woman has done. And she's a yoga instructor, but she does Pilates. When you see her, but what I love about her is the constant drive to continue to learn. No matter where you're at, she's always got that loop open to grow and learn more. This person, you'll never have a conversation thinking that, well, I know it all. No. I think she realises, like most of us, the more you learn, the more you realise there's more to learn. And I think that's the most humbling way that you can come across and live life and experience it to its fullest. Guys, enough about this intro. Let's bring this wonderful person down. Everyone put your hands together for the wonderful Debrah Heslin. Come on down, Deb. The crowd's going wild. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Yes. Ronnie's online. Hey, Ronnie, great to have you online. She's saying hi. So, guys, if you're watching, let us know where you're watching from. Deb, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for your time. I know it's past your bedtime in the Eastern Coast.
It's past my bedtime, but it's only 8:09 on the Eastern Standard Time.
Well, that's because, you get to bed early because you get up early and do your yoga, you do your Pilates, you do your rituals. And that's why you're looking amazing.
Thank you, Arthur. 69 now, I'm 70 next birthday.
Wait. Did everyone get that? I just want everyone just gather yourselves. This woman here that we're talking to is 70, her next birthday.
Yeah.
I love that you're so comfortable in saying that, Deb. So many people wouldn't want to say that, right? Yeah. But you're so comfortable in your own skin and you're looking after yourself, you're looking after your health, you're looking after your mind, your heart, and your spirit. I mean, we go through stuff. That's what life's about. We go through stuff. And at 70, your next birthday, without a doubt, you've gone through things. Like you've lived 3/4 of a decade when you think about it, right? So, of course,
I'm in my wise years. It's kind of like, whoa, I'm actually wise now.
The wise years. And so having gone through that stuff, it gives us an opportunity to be able to look back with, I suppose, that wisdom, with that a different level of understanding, a different level of, well, you know what? Yes, all these things do happen for a reason. There is a purpose. There is a lesson in it for us. We may not know it when we go through it, and all of us have gone through things, and I know you've gone through major things over the last year or two with the family. But we go through things, and to be able to look back and find some sort of silver lining or some sort of lesson is really what helps us move forward, keep showing up, and to make it worthwhile for the people who are here and are looking to us to support them on their journey.
Yeah. I love what you're saying there. I remember quite a few years ago, you and I had a discussion, and I love our journey together, right? The thing, how we first met, how we've always connected, we've always been close along those lines. But I remember when I was going through something within my family, and I say to my students, I say to my clients that I had two coaches at that time. I had one in Australia, my bookends, and one in the United States. And you were the person I reached out to in Australia. And what you just said then to me, she said something to me that really stuck with me, and you said something to me that stuck with me and helped me through that process. And no matter what happens in life, the good, the bad, the not so good, right? There's always a jewel and a gem. And it was finding that jewel and that gem, and I did, right? And that's, to me, that's like, no matter what is going on, if you can find that jewel and the gem, it's a choice. Look for it, dig for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love what you're saying, to find that jewel and that gem. You know, that's exactly what you said to me back in 2020 when I was going through my stuff.
Oh, wow.
And I had that conversation with you. Again, you were the person I reached out to, right? And you said one thing to me, Deb. You said, with what I was going through at the time, and if you guys want to know about my story, you want to come along to our trainings and hear about everything that we went through and how we applied to everything that we do.
Yeah.
And you said to me, in this situation, I want you to think about who's got the potential to be most flexible. I said, what do you mean? Well, we've learned, right? The secret to resilience and to moving forward in life is that your degree of flexibility. The person that's most flexible always influences the other system, or the other person, right? For the higher good. I mean, that's the law of requisite variety in NLP. It's a major presupposition. And I thought about it and I said, all right, now, if someone's not aware of this information and you are, then you're the one that's got the potential to be more flexible. And I wasn't at that time. And so that challenged me to say, well, you know, if I'm going to talk the talk, I have to walk the walk.
Right.
So
Yes.
that's the conversation back then that, you know, and that helped me to reframe what I was going through and helped me to dig deep, as you said, to find the jewel and the gem in the situation, because that's how we help us to evolve and grow and move forward and to be able to look back and say, okay, now from the learning, say, can we pass it on to help other people live a better life on their journey?
Exactly. It's like, one of my favorite metaphors to use is, when a ship sinks and it goes to the bottom of the ocean, that we will not be able to bring the sunken ship necessarily back up, like even the Titanic, right? However, we can go down there and get the jewels and the gems from that sunken treasure. And sometimes that can be us.
Did you
right?
say
Where we
Titanic?
feel- Yeah, yeah. Let's just say the Titanic. Do you remember the Titanic?
You didn't know that was coming, right? This is all ad lib. What's he doing with the sound effects?
That is perfect. That is perfect. Yeah, but there's always the jewels and the gems, and all those sayings that we've heard all of our life. Oh, everything happens for a reason, or life isn't meant to be easy. All of those things, they didn't come about for no reason. They have meaning, of things that can happen along that path. And what are we going to do with that happens?
Well, today, let's talk about today, because you've got this huge, colourful experience in the corporate world, in the industry that we're in, and usually when I have these conversations, I say to people, what was your aha moment to get you in this field? If you can go back and think about what led you here, but you've got a lot to share with us, right? But like a master trainer in NLP, hypnosis, coaching, you do a lot of corporate coaching. You've been in the corporate world yourself, like in high-powered careers, like you were general manager of JetBlue at one stage. Is that right? Or
John F. Kennedy Airport. I am Australian, right? And at one time I said to myself, how did this Australian get this job of running John F. Kennedy for, JetBlue Airways that was at John F. Kennedy Airport? And I was like, how did I get this job? And I'm doing it. I felt like an imposter. How did I manage this? But the stress and, and I was a high-performing leader. Right.
Well, so let me go before that, right? I want to have a conversation, because before you were general manager of JetBlue Airways.
Yeah.
Because this is how you met your husband, Craig, right?
I did. I met
like you were on the airline, not as a general manager, but you started when you were a hostess?
I was a flight attendant.
A flight attendant.
Yeah, a flight attendant. So what happened was I had run my own business in New York for about 18 years, I believe. And then my youngest daughter had gone to college. She was in her second year of college. And I said, it's about time for me now. What do I want to do? I just want to travel. I want to enjoy life. I don't want to be working my business so much anymore. So I decided to apply for an airline. I got a job as a hostess, as a flight attendant, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Meeting people, traveling, it was all over the country then. It wasn't all over the world like they go to now, or a lot of the world. And I was single, and on the flight one day, one of the flight attendants said to me, I think I'm going to introduce you to a guy that I think you would like to date. And I was like, nah, I'm not interested in anybody. And then Craig, my husband, in America, they say Craig. In Australia, they say Craig, right? So
Craig.
his Craig. It took me a little while to get used to it. And he was walking towards the back of the plane. I literally had to hold on to the back of the plane to hold myself up. And I was speechless, which is not something I ever am. I don't have trouble talking, right? And yeah, and we started dating. So I married one of the customers. Yeah, I didn't know his name. I did not know his name. I just knew his seat number.
Yeah.
So
did you upgrade him?
I did, of course. No, JetBlue was all one class, but he sat in the emergency exit row because he's a really tall, a really tall dude. And as you know, you met him, and
I like him. He brought us donuts.
He did. We went out on our first date after about 5 years of getting to know him, and I sent him an email to say thank you. It was really nice going out with you, Greg, right? And so he wrote me back and he said, I had a really good time too, but just to let you know, my name's Craig, not Greg.
I got that too when I met him, right? It's Craig, not Craig.
Right, I know. It's the difference.
So let me ask you, because this is the journey we're all on, right? We come into the workforce, as we start our young adult life, and we start working, and we have these dreams and aspirations to be able to grow or create something. And so you went from being a flight attendant. So tell me the journey and the learning that you needed to go through to get to the position where you're able to then be the general manager of JetBlue Airways at JFK.
Yeah. So what are you asking me there? What do you want me to share?
What are the when you say learnings, what was the path that you went on to develop yourself and for you to grow, and the skills you acquired? And because that's important, for us to evolve, we need to acquire new skills. We need to grow our mind, our heart, and our soul to be able to deal with different scenarios.
So my thing was always people oriented. For other people, what could I do? How could I serve? What is it I'm not doing that I could do better? And I would recognize people's personalities on the plane, lots of different states and different personalities you'd always be coming across. So I was always working for myself to want to be able to better communicate with people. So that just led me to one role where I was assisting the flight attendants. That led me to another role where I was getting an aircraft approved with the FAA in the United States, and, interacting with people. Yep. And then I was asked, would I be interested in running Orlando and Fort Lauderdale airports? And then they asked me, would I be interested in working at John F. Kennedy and running that airport? Yeah. But during that time, I was constantly working on what I could do for others. And I'll tell you something, Arthur, that I missed during that time was also what could I do to help myself. I worked out, I did yoga, I did crazy, things like that, ate right, but I still wasn't taking care of myself mentally and emotionally on the inside. That was what was missing for me in corporate America. And that's why I help people now, because to me, the whole world is suffering from stress, overwhelm, anxiety.
So that you were going through in that role, is that what led you to move into this coaching space? So what was it during that role where you had that moment, maybe one of these moments? One of those moments where you say, you know what, there's something more for me. And then how did you make that decision, and what was it that led to the decision for you to now be one of the leading coaches and trainers in the States?
So what happened for me personally was all the hours that I was working with my job, which was my choice, was
It's right.
I didn't, that's okay. I didn't have to do that, but I had the belief that's what I needed to do in order to be a successful leader. So that ultimately depleted my energy. So it came to, I was so exhausted. And, in the Heart Math tools, we talk about burnout, where the burnout goes, you get really excited about what you're doing, and then all of a sudden you crash. We want to go more at an even keel, and how do we do that, right? So what happened with me is I ended up resigning, and they did not accept my resignation. So it was like, it took me 2 years to resign. 2 years to resign. It was a slow workout from that. And I went, you're going to laugh at this, I went from a high-powered corporate America job to teaching yoga for $40 a day.
Wow, you think about that, because a high-powered
But
corporate
I
American
loved
job,
it.
right? So you're talking, high six-figure income, if not more, to suddenly $40 an hour doing something that you love.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You probably slept better there. You felt.
I did. I just loved it. Because to me, I was able to plant seeds that had helped me. So how I started in the coaching realm, I was taking yoga to help me with my stress. So in the yoga room, I felt great. I felt fantastic. And then I would be out of the yoga room and I would be like, oh, back to normal again, my normal at that time. So I didn't have tools to cope with the stress and anxiety of what the external world can give us. So to me, the yoga room, but I couldn't do yoga 24 hours a day, so and I remember hearing something with my very first training that I ever did that said, it's easy to be spiritual when that's all you're doing. But when you step out of just doing that and into the real world and the real environment, and to carry that with you. And I was like, well, how do I carry that with me? So that started me on the path to wanting to study more about
I love the way you said that. How do I carry that with me? How do I carry my spirit? How do I carry that 5D blueprint that I have connected to my spirit and soul in this 3D planet? Being in this physical world, because we all agree that we're energetic beings or spiritual beings have chosen to have a physical experience. And I think for me, and as we know with the work that we do, especially with Huna, right, the lesson of mastery, I think that's the lesson. How do we navigate this 3D world, this planet, in that 5D mindset, bring our spirit down to really be spiritual when shit happens or shit hits the fan, not just spiritual when everyone's burning candles and burning incense and playing nice music and then meditating. It's great to be spiritual in that moment. It's easy then. So can you live that life in the less than easy moments? Can you live that life when you're in a trigger of anger, resentment, frustration, sadness? And I think that's the learning, hey? And that's finding the jewel and the gem in the experience.
Exactly. And as you said with, Brendan Bashard, the joy and the happiness that we can have, I'm not going to tell you anything that's new, right? The only thing we can ever be affected by is our environment, right? And our senses. And it's what we do with that. I love what Jack Canfield says, and I'm also certified as one of his trainers, right? And he said, I can tell you, Debrah, I love your bright green hair, right? And I can either go, something's wrong with Jack for telling me he likes my bright green hair, unless it is green, swimming too much in the pool, right? Or I can go, I can get angry. It's what I do with what that external brings into my internal world.
Yeah.
And that becomes our reality, as we know. So we have that choice as human beings, right? The awareness, we're aware, and now I'm miserable. I'm aware of that misery, that I'm triggered by this. What am I going to do with that? Stay there?
Yeah.
Or I'm going to open up that space and create a different neuro pathway, a different result, a different outcome.
And as you said before, these sayings, the sayings that we have heard, the colloquialisms, they're not there. They're there for a reason, or they're put together for a reason. And we say it's not what happens to you that counts; it's what you make it mean and how you respond to it.
Right.
And I think that's the key. I think that's what's not learnt in schools. People aren't taught, as kids are not taught how to respond in the most effective way to our potential to life. We learn academic stuff, we learn mathematics, and we learn how to read, and we learn how to write. So we go to school for academic prowess, but do we go to school for life skills prowess? All right. And that's what's lacking. And you see people come out of school and there's the gap. How do I do life now? I might have a degree, I might have some learnings of the universe, right? But how do I do life? You know, it's like, how do you become, like, is there a book that can teach you to become a good parent? You just got to become a parent and learn along the way, right? And then you look to people who've been there and learn from them, from their experiences. So, okay, so from yoga, you went on the path of continual learning, and
I went to yoga first, and then I became a yoga teacher. I started doing yoga, and then I became a yoga teacher. And my oldest daughter, she lovingly makes fun of me. She says, "Mom, you never do anything in small doses. You have to go all the way." So I became a master yoga teacher. You know, I did yoga retreats in different countries, and you know, a lot of my corporate contacts from JetBlue would come. My old boss came on one of my retreats more than once. She actually became one of my first clients. It was, "What are you doing? I want to know what you're doing."
And now your retreats have evolved, right? Because it's not just yoga; it's everything else that you do. Are you still running them? When's your next one? Are you planning for another retreat?
Since COVID, I had stopped doing the retreats, and a lot of people have been saying, "When are you going to do another retreat? When are you going to do another retreat?" So, yeah, maybe that will be something I'll
we might have to have a chat about that, Deb.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't just do the yoga and meditation because I want to say something there. One of my clients in the very beginning, male, came to me, wanted me to hypnotize him to swim faster in a triathlon that he was going to be doing. And I said to him, "Well, what's stopping you from swimming faster yourself, with the training, the eating perhaps?" And he said to me, "I've got a lot going on in my life." And it boiled down to there was a lot going on in his life. And then I said, "This is where I believe we should start first." And he looked at me and he said, "I'm not into any of your foo-foo stuff." Right, because he knew about some of the energy healings, and I said, "I'm not into foo-foo stuff either. I'm into results. So do you want to start getting the results or what it is you want to do?" So yeah, a lot of people, when I say that, it's like yoga, I don't do that. I don't teach classes anymore on yoga, but I practice the mind-body.
Yeah.
The mind-body.
And I mean, you run classes in that room. I've been in that room in Fort Lauderdale, right? So during COVID, you used that space, and I love how you've set it up. That's your workspace now, right? And so you do all your programs there. Okay, so you moved down this path. So now with all these things that you've acquired along the way, and you've specialised in, NLP, heart math, Jack Canfield's work. So, do you like your chicken soup? Do you still have chicken soup? Is the question.
I actually do like chicken soup.
Right. The hypnosis, the havening, the primal question stuff, all the stuff from Tony Robbins, and you've done. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And what I love, as I said, that you continue to learn. Yeah. Tell us about the work that you do now. So Debrah Heslin Wellness, right? Yeah. Why does it exist? What's the purpose of Debrah Heslin Wellness?
Oh, what a good question. So my motto for myself is to help others, help others, help others. So I guess it still goes back to when I was even in my corporate role, was, helping others, but that helping others helps me. Right, because that's at my core of what it is I want to do and what it is I want to give out. Because, there were so many years, Arthur, where I felt And I don't know whether I even had reason to feel like that, where I was suffering inside. Now I can actually have reason for it, and I'm not, right? But then I was suffering, and a lot of people are living their lives with that suffering. So my goal is with my coaching programs and the trainings and stuff that I do is be able to help people basically get from where they are to where they want to be. And how do we do that? How do we do that? And I do a lot of corporate trainings for companies. I'm a corporate coach at a couple of companies in South Florida as well. And I've done some hospitals and medical centers in New York. And I like that. I like doing groups. Yeah. And I'm running a group program now, which hopefully you and I.
We'll talk about that one, right? Some exciting things happening there as well too. So in addition to you being like a corporate trainer and training to groups at that corporate perspective with the skill set that you have to be able to help them get better results individually for themselves and obviously for their organizations, the bottom line, you work with individuals at all capacity, whether corporate or mums and dads or even teenagers.
All that spectrum, from children.
All aspects.
Yes. 12-year-old girl, all the way up. My most mature client is an 84-year-old woman that came to me and really wanted to get rid of her anger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all
so huge spectrum. Reminds me of, remember Esther? We can never forget Esther, right?
Yes. I saw her when I went back to Australia.
Yeah. Yes, she still pops into our rooms every now and then and comes into the training. She's getting into a travel now with a family, which is great because she always loved traveling, and I've got so much respect. If she's watching, Esther, we've got so much respect for you. So a huge spectrum in terms of the people that you work with, and your Debrah Heslin Westland, your wellness, Debrah Heslin Wellness. I've got to get that right. You've got your training, so you teach people, certify people in NLP, in hypnosis, and the corporate training, high performance coach. You've gone all the way with the High Performance Institute and Brendan, like we have, and it's a wonderful work that we're able to add there. But you've got so many other things that you do as well, and I want to ask you, because you've been in this industry now for a long time, and you've got this corporate experience. What do you think as you look at this industry that we're in, the field, of trainers, of coaches, of therapists, healers, people wanting to be able to make a difference? What do you think is lacking in the industry now? What does the industry need from a wise woman who's looking back and lived the experience, right? What do you think is lacking? What does it need to get to a next level, in your opinion?
I think the coaches themselves, I love coaching coaches. That's actually my favorite thing to do, is to coach coaches. And I love to share everything that I've learned, and to me, that's again, helping the others really get to where it is that they want to do. So I love to, there are so many things that you can do as a coach. It doesn't always have to be a quick cookie cutter breakthrough. Yeah. We can do all that, but it could have tentacles to go off in a completely, different direction. So when I'm working with somebody, depending on, I let them lead the conversation, being aware of what it is they're saying, a client, but I want to help other coaches with those things as well.
So you're saying you want to help them grow tentacles?
Yes, I want to help them grow tentacles. More than the 8 limbs from the octopus.
Wow, that's an interesting metaphor. I think we could use that one. That's pretty good. Right? Is your business lacking tentacles? Okay, so from your experience, so it's being able to give. So you're saying helping coaches help coaches. Actually, before that, what I want to say is I love what you say, your motto, helping others to help others to help others. That last thing is so important, that last help others. Because you can say, we help people to help people. Mm-hmm. But then you haven't duplicated yourself. We just help people to help people. But if you've helped people to help people to help people, then you've helped people to become you. In other words, to take on what you have. So in other words, you've created an opportunity where you're not needed anymore. People can evolve. If you're just helping people to help people, you're still positioning yourself as the guru. But when you help people to help people to help people, you're making space for people to grow and evolve in
Everyone's
that
their
space.
own guru, like
Absolutely.
Tony
I'm not
Robbins
your
says,
guru, right?
You know, and yeah, I'm not your guru. I remember somebody saying to me, I think it was when I first started teaching yoga, and I wanted to do a retreat. And at that time, I still had anxiety teaching in front of people. I hadn't gone through the trainings and things like that. And I'll never forget, one student came up to me and said, Debrah, people are wanting you to do this. And if you don't do it, what you are doing is not using your gift that people, I'm not saying that I had this gift or whatever, but that's how those people wanted me to teach and run that retreat. And therefore you are stealing. You're keeping that gift to yourself. I never forgot that. And I've used that with other people who I see have these beautiful gifts that they're not using and sharing. And I tell them, I don't know about you, but I don't believe in stealing, you know, and I know you don't either. So sharing that gift, because we're all given a unique gift. And what we do with that, I don't want to keep all my learnings to myself. As I'm now, my next birthday, I'll be 70. I want to share what I have learned. A lot of it is in books, and, you know, I've put together just different things. And honestly, Arthur, it could go on for years.
I know. Look, we had the conversation just recently, like, say you're saying your next birthday's 70, my next birthday's 60. And both of us know, like, the next decade, right, the next 10, 15 years, this is the time, well, for me, it's about creating the legacy or leaving something that's had an impact on people's lives, to be able to share our experiences. Because you know, the knowledge out there is universal knowledge. No one owns it. It's just how you acquire the knowledge and what you've made it mean, and how you've utilised in order for you to navigate your path here on the planet. And through that navigation, be able to be a guiding light to help people go through a similar process so they can make their decisions in the most effective way. And I know that we're on the same page with that. So from the coaching space then, because, you know, as you said, you've got all these trainings and everything else, you're putting together, like, because you love helping coaches to grow those tentacles so they can become, and I love this metaphor, it comes from Robin Sharma, BIW, how to become best in the world at what you do. And that comes from a passion, not only for your work, but a passion to be able to help people to become better quality people. I think at the core, if you're in this business just to make money, you're in this business from, I heard that. Okay. You're in this business. Now, making money is important.
This is just water. It should be stronger with that statement.
Making money is important. We want to be able to make a living, to be able to experience all the riches that life has to offer, without a doubt. And we're not discounting that. But if you're putting that at the forefront, in front of your client, then I want to ask you, is that the person that you would send your daughter to or your son to if they need to work with like a neurosurgeon because you want to help expand their mind, a heart surgeon because you want them to heal the hurts, or a soul surgeon because you want them to evolve? I don't think you would. You'd probably send them to someone who's 100% committed to you. And I know we're on the same page here, because if we're focused on the client and we're focused on delivering the best possible service we can for them with the tentacles that we've grown, because there's no right or wrong way. You've got to be able to identify
flexibility, right?
Find the way or the piece that fits best in that person's puzzle. With another puzzle that they have, we want them, here's the pieces, let's help you put your puzzle together, right? When you make it about them, then you will be looked after. And that is how I believe your business grows and flourishes, because the money you earn, the income you earn, is a direct reflection of the value that you give. But if you're saying, here's the money I want to earn, and how much value do I need to give? Not anymore, because I want to keep the loop open so I come back and do more stuff and more stuff and more stuff. Well, then the focus is just business. And good on you. Congratulations. I wish you all the successes. But I would actually send my son and daughter to someone that I know is there for them. And I'd pay them to top dollar because of that. The money's not an issue if I know they're there for them.
Yeah. Money is secondary to me. It doesn't mean to say that we don't want to have it. The money will come, right? It's, you know, I tell all of my clients, and I say to them, I'm always there for you, except when I'm not. right? So I make myself available. They can text me. I will always answer if I'm available, right? Not when I'm sleeping or whatever. So that this way, it's not just for the time that I'm spending with them. I care about them. I don't overcare, right? There's a difference with caring and overcaring, because if you're overcaring, you're then caught in that vortex and you're part of the problem, and you're not able to help guide them to what is best for them, what they can see is best for them. So I'm very conscious that I don't jump in it with them. You
I
know,
love
I'm
that.
there as they support.
Overcare, become a people pleaser, not really
Yes,
understanding the law of allowing them on their
yes,
journey to experience their own lessons and take. Okay, so your vision to be able to support the trainer, the coach, the therapist to upskill themselves, to become best in the world at what they do, to grow these tentacles, to be able to be as flexible as they can and not get caught up in a specific way. Structure is important, but when you think this is the only way, then it's stiff and rigid, right? To come up with a way for the client. You've put together a unique cohort at the moment. You've put together an elite group, an elite coaching and mentoring group, where you're going to be providing and sharing everything that you've learned to these coaches. They can upskill themselves. Now, you put this group together a couple of weeks back. You did one post,
I
and
just
it was
decided
sold
to
out
put
pretty
it
much straight
together.
away, right?
Yeah, it sold out right away. Yeah.
Tell me about the group. What's your vision with this group, Deb?
My vision with this group, so I'm calling this my beta group, because I'm going to be starting off with I've started off with the values that I believe what I believe coaches should have. They can either adopt them or not, think about the presuppositions of NLP, and they can create their own values from that, right? Just even some of the things that we've shared now. And then I'm going to start sharing some of the tools that I've learned through all of my years. I take so many different trainings, so many different trainings, and I will continue to, because I want to be the sort of mentor, if that makes sense, that is helping my group that's working with me or wants to work with me grow even more. We don't stay. So we grow together. So I'm going to start off with an assessment at first and teach them how to do this assessment. Very simple, very quick. So it's not like the Enneagram or the emotional intelligence profiles, or that takes 45 minutes to fill out. It's very fast, and it helps for people to get to what we call a core emotional need that's not being met. And those that are in NLP, it can then, what emotions are attached to that? How do we behave? There's strategies for that, but it's a really quick little tools. You can help somebody one time.
Yeah. So you've got this group, you said, and it's an elite coaching and mentoring group for coaches, trainers or therapists in the field who want to become best in the world. And you're actually starting it tomorrow, right?
It starts tomorrow.
And I'm excited because I'm going to be doing that questionnaire tomorrow. But from that, your vision from that, because you know, if anyone's listening and you're a therapist, you're a trainer, you're a coach, you're a healer, and you want to upskill yourself, you want to be able to be in a room of a community of other, not just like-minded, in addition to like-minded individuals, people will continue to grow and share their learnings and be mentored with someone with 40 years, corporate plus experience, right? And in the coaching space. If that's you, just drop us a message, whether you're watching this live or on the replay. Just drop us an emoji of a brain. I want to learn. Like, I want to learn more. And we'll let you know what's happening, because this beta group, it's exciting, because we already have people that reached out and said, look, we want to be part of this growth. We want to be able to separate ourselves from the sea of sameness of coaches out there. Everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone's being a mindset coach. Everyone's just doing a cookie cutter approach to coaching, and all they're focused on is, once they've done their coaching 2-day course or 5-day course, how do I create a 6-figure business from it? And they stop their learning, right? So if you're a coach that believes you're not in that space of the cookie cutter, and you want to position yourself as a true pioneer, a trailblazer, someone who sets the standard for other people to follow, I really believe that's where the industry is going, Deb. You know, that we're going to
I
move,
agree.
the pendulum is going to sway. We're going to move from this cookie cutter approach, and people are going to start to want more value and more experience and more of a professional that they're working with, as opposed to someone who's just done coaching to make money. Do you understand?
100%.
Yeah.
And, I just want to add one thing there because I really love what you're saying. It's also going to be where we will be meeting, and if they have a question about something, not just coming from my opinion, it'll be coming from a group of masterful people that will be able to say, hey, what about this or what about this? So my plan is for nobody to ever be stuck as a coach.
Yeah.
There's always
Look, I love that so much, and we talked about it 2 years back. I was sitting on your deck outside watching the big boat, right? And we talked about coming together, and we talked about before doing some stuff together to be able to make a difference in the industry. And I'm excited to be part of this group with you as a beta group and evolve it from there, because I think as a vision, we want to be able to work at creating a community, a network for trainers, therapists and coaches, almost like an academy or a university of continual growth, for you to become BOW, best in the world. And I think that's how your business is going to grow. And your contacts, are you able to bring all the people from within the industry that you've been in to help everyone in that community elevate, is going to be invaluable. So if you guys want to know more about that, just drop us a message or emoji. The other thing I want to do, because just looking at time, I know we can go on part 2. If people want to hear you again, we might have to do another part 2. With all the work that you've done, I think one of the tools which I think is so important for everyone, not only if you're, in addition to being a therapist, coach and healer, but any individual, is the heart math work, the coherence work, the being able to actually ground yourself and put yourself in a better position to make a decision on what something means. I mean, I know you hold that work close to your heart, and you're a heart math facilitator and trainer, and you've got a program coming up. You talked about it. You've got a 2-day program coming up. Tell us about that, because we want to put it out to everyone. And if anyone's keen, we might do something special with that, right? Just drop us a heart emoji if you want to know about the heart math, and we'll let them know, because that's quite special. So give maybe 2 or 3 minutes on that, Deb. Why heart math?
Yeah. So the heart math, I actually learned the heart math after I was already an NLP trainer, and it's a wonderful tool, technique, experience for everybody. It should be taught in schools, and it is taught in schools and the military and hospitals. So basically what it does, and Arthur said a little bit about this, it's about connecting. When we learn how to connect with our heart, and the heart sends more signals to our brain than the other way around. When we're able to connect with our heart and get ourselves in a much better state, we're then able to make better decisions instead of going, what the hell did I do that for? Right? So it's all scientifically proven. I've run quite a few courses in the last year, but I'm going to be running another one in October. It's at the end of October. And if you're interested, as Arthur said, just put a heart in, and we will send out some more information.
Look, Patricia's already put a heart, and we got some hearts.
Okay,
we got
cool.
messages coming up on my screen. That's pretty cool, right?
I love it. It's 10 hours, so it's 5 hours one day and 5 hours another. You get a fantastic workbook with it, and we'd love to share that with you.
And so, whether you are an existing therapist, coach and healer, you can integrate this in your toolkit. And I know many times you start with these tools with a client and also end them and with a client and give them these resources for home. But you could be anyone. We got Sherul saying yes. We got some, he's watching, he's giving me a heart. So there's quite a few people giving us some hearts there, Deb. So we're going to let them know about heart. I think it's a tool that, as you said, everyone can apply to be able to
And
be
your
more
clients
grounded and
love
centered.
it.
Yeah.
They love it. If think about if the whole world was heart centered and what the heart means, what a different world we would be living in.
So less reactive, become more resourcul and more connected. And I think that's the key thing. So let us know, guys, because what we'll do with Debrah, and the interesting thing is this technology is always evolving. So the exciting thing is there's a lot of new things that HeartMath has created, the HeartMath Institute. And so this program is an evolved program that you've run, right? Because I've been introduced to HeartMath many, many years back, and every year it's evolving. So if you've experienced it before, come again, because you're going to get the latest technology, the latest lights in that. So we'll let you know, guys. And in fact, what we might do, We'll keep you posted. We might have a chat with Deb at another time and maybe do a masterclass, like an intro, a specific class, get people to come along 45 minutes or an hour to give them an intro to the heart math before we do that 2-day program, which will be at the end of October. How's that sound? People are saying yes. All right, so guys, if you want to connect with Debrah Heslin, her website is debrahheslinwellness.com. Go to that. We'll put all the links in the chat in a second. Also, look out for her on the social. Just connect with Debrah Heslin, become part of the community, and you'll be hearing more. You'll be hearing more about not only, in addition to what Debbie's doing, the work that we want to be able to be doing together to be able to make a difference in the industry. And I love like helping others to help others to help others. That last help others is huge. It's not just helping others to help others. It's helping others to help others to learn, teach them how to help others and to teach them how to help others. It's a continuity, right? Deb, I want to thank you so much for your time. It's great having a conversation. I feel we just only scratched the surface. Really haven't. There's so much we can talk about, right? But it's
yeah, my favorite topic, all of this, right?
Yeah. We just scratched the surface, but please, guys, if you're watching this live or replay, let us know and connect with Debrah and let us know what you'd like more from us, because Deb and I, we've chatted, and I think the time has come. Even your husband, Craig, is saying, get to work together.
Yes, do it.
Right. Okay. The time has come to be able to, I'm looking forward to coming into your group to learn. I love the stuff that you bring into the group. Together, though, I mean, what's exciting, together we can bring over 60, 70 years of experience in this industry to actually help coaches, trainers, healers to become best in the world. Sally's saying she's loving this. Thanks, Sally, for watching. And that's what our commitment is. If you're serious about wanting to level up, to explore the next evolution of yourself as a human being, as a coach to help other people, then you're in the right community. It's in the right environment. It's the environment that's going to help you to expand. And what I love about Deb is every time you're in Deb's energy, it's just healing. Right? So, Deb, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you to everyone who's listening. We might come back in part 2, but certainly we'll be coming back with Debrah, letting you know about the heart math, letting you know about her exclusive elite coaching and mentoring program. The current one's a pilot, right? It's just a beta group or a pilot, right? Got 12 people in that, but stay
14.
tuned.
Ended up being 14.
14.
Yeah.
Great. Stay tuned, because that will grow. And I think that'll become a place where coaches, trainers and healers will go to be able to ensure they stay committed and grow in the industry and build their business for the right reasons, for their clients, and to make a difference, to create that ripple effect of positive change. Debrah, thank you so much for being here. Give my love to your husband. And we'll talk very, very soon, guys. Thank you for watching this show. We'll come to you soon. Tomorrow, we're starting our Ultimate Life Skills Training Program, our 5-day NLP course here, Australian time. We've got over 200 people registered. So, Deb, it's just going to be crazy, right? And with all the effects that we have, it's going to be a truly an event. I feel like Tony Robbins, right, ready to go in the event. That's on tomorrow. That's already sold out, but we are running another one where, if you're watching this in 2 weeks' time, September 18, we're running one in Pacific time, like a US time zone, which means I'll be up at 3 o'clock in the morning doing that. And we only just started promoting that. We've got about 60 people registered in that, so there's some exciting times ahead. And really, this is getting people to think about the thinking, to start opening up themselves to a new possibility, and that's the starting point, and they'll be exposed to many more things. So, guys, if you want to know more about anything else that we're doing, drop us a message, connect with Deb. Deb, thank you so much. Let's give some fireworks. Where is my fireworks to celebrate having Deb here? We'll talk to you soon, Deb. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for being in the room. Hang on, Deb. I'll just finish off the live, and we can